Kaboom! I don't know why you say no.
No, I was wrong. That's preemptive. Preemptive. Go start. Do the pre-kaboom, Gam.
I mean, you went live. Kaboom!
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the AIB Show. This is Amit.
And Dominic.
Yeah, so we're trying something new here. Not sure if it's going to work or not, but we'll see what happens. So we're on the IG situation. We're also on the F-book situation, as well as everything else. So we'll see how this goes today. And any comments, questions, whatever, feel free to chime in on whatever medium works best for you. With that said, as we're supposed to start, Dominic tries to walk away because he's a freaking moron. This is why you can't have nice things. Bruh. You ready, finally?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Going live. You're up.
Dave Portnoy. You know who he is?
I do know who he is. But he's like the pizza guy. That's all I know him for. Barstool Sports, but I only know him for pizza stuff.
Barstool Sports, polarizing figure, Boston guy. You know, he started Barstool Sports, was actually a periodical, a little 4-page newspaper back in the day. Wound up selling it last year for $500 million. Bought it back a couple weeks ago for, you know how much he bought it back for?
For $1.
For $1.
Yeah, but do you know? Yeah, but there's a lot of backstory to why that even happened.
There is, but it's not as if the company failed. It is only worth nothing. It's still worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, but the company. Okay, but
the company that bought it,
mm-hmm.
the company that bought it, decided it was worth losing $500 million to make $1.3 billion. Simple maths, right? They wanted to get in bed with ESPN for gambling purposes, but ESPN wouldn't allow them to be a partner if they are also owning a competitor,
which makes sense.
Which they Barstool has. So they sold it back to him for $1. Under the guise of if he ever sells it again, he has to pay them 50% of the proceeds. But
which I think makes a lot of sense.
He says he'll never sell it.
But it's one of these things
and
where
why not
again,
sell it to someone else?
But no, whoever he sells it for, they're going to get money. He's right. The company's going to get their money. So it doesn't really matter. They sell it to. It doesn't really matter.
No, but he'll never sell it. So they'll never.
But the reality is, but they still made 1 point. How many? $3 billion.
Yeah.
All right, so we're still winning.
So do you know much about him though? He, like I said, polarizing, fascinating, controversial.
No, you said polarizing. I don't know much about him beyond the fact that he's opinionated. He's got
very opinionated. Has some racial hues and tinges to some of his stuff. Very, as people would say, sexist.
Okay.
You know, he's actually has some sexual charges against him, independent of that.
Okay.
But he's that like typical. He's a stereotype of that like white frat boy. You know, the stereotype. You know him from pizzas, right?
Well, he does this pizza thing through Miami, but he lives down here now?
He's in Miami a lot and Boca a lot.
So he lives down South Florida?
I don't know if he lives there.
No, he's here all the time, like testing pizza out all over the place, and people go by his list. That's the only thing I know him for, because Barstool Sports I've not followed in forever. I don't even know what does one go to Barstool Sports for?
They have different. There's one guy I follow on Instagram who just gives summaries of like sports stuff and news. But it's like a little. Listen, they would insult people. They would joke about things. That's where the borderline of the racist and the sexual stuff comes across. But he's turned his business from nothing into hundreds and hundreds of millions.
All right. So right now the dynamic is he's now got a lot of money, more money for doing this. So in essence, whatever he's done is not hurt.
Ever done.
Yeah, but whatever he's done hasn't hurt his brand.
No, it makes that's the thing. It makes the brand,
which is the sad reality.
I feel like we should be doing that.
Doing what? Being racist and sexist?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Get more viewers.
That's the way to go. All right. That's one method. I'm not sure that's what I want to be known for, but sure, that's one method. Sure, we can go that avenue. It's probably a better way to go about doing that, but okay. But yeah, I mean, everybody's getting the gambling game, right? Which is going to be the whole new thing across the board. Everybody's getting the gambling game across the board. I mean, speaking of which, even with sports, right? You have what? College football starts this weekend, right?
I don't even know.
I think it starts Saturday, which is crazy because we're still in August. I think it starts Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, right? Like the whole idea is you want to get in gambling. Without gambling, there's no value. Gambling is where the money's at. That's the next stage. You kind of peter it out if you don't have that.
Yeah, but at least I'm glad at least the NFL and everybody has removed the hypocrisy and pretending like there's no gambling in sports or shouldn't be.
No, but they're saying you still can't gamble in your own games.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
that protects the integrity of the game, the sport.
Okay, you're trying to tell me that somebody ain't like your overs, and I mean you know what's going on. Like you're going into a game knowing what your stats are.
Did you just try to
The overs,
throw out something you don't even know the meaning of?
And then I stopped because I don't gamble and I don't know what that even means. That's why I stopped. Yeah, you caught me. You caught me. Man, I'm not a gamble, dude. I don't gamble. My point is you go in knowing what your numbers are, right? Your expectations, right? Whatever the phrasing is, I don't know, right? People go in, they say you're supposed to hit X yards or, whatever the dynamics are. But you know what you're doing going in there. So you're telling your friends and whatever else aren't going to gamble on your behalf or otherwise. Come on now. If you ain't doing it yourself, that's one thing. But you're trying to tell me people are not going to try and skirt this and will skirt this. That's just foolish to think otherwise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there is no integrity to the game. That's
there is. I just don't think I don't have a problem with betting on other games and things, other sports. They can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be insider trading. That's just the way the game works. That's just the way the game works, right? And along the sports angle, you saw your boy Messi. Did you watch the game?
I did. Second half and overtime penalties. Yeah.
I didn't watch it at all. I didn't know what was going on. I found that after the game. Yeah. Apparently, yeah. Had no idea. But no pots and pans. Miami did not go crazy, apparently.
No, because this wasn't that kind of no. This is a Leagues Cup. Not like some big fan. I don't know what the hell Leagues Cup is.
No, it started this year. It's like brand new. They won the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the first time. But it's not the point. It's Messi in Miami.
The summary. For those who don't know, Lionel Messi, I guess most famous athlete in the world.
Yeah.
Right now. Plays for Miami now, Inter Miami. He's been scoring in every single game he's played, and including the championship.
This is right now, since Messi came on board, do you know how many followers there is on whatchamacallit, on Inter Miami IG?
Did it go up by like millions?
Yes.
Was there hundreds of thousands?
Guess what it was before?
650,000.
Just about a million. Close to a million. Okay. Guess what it is now?
6 million.
14 million. There is zero NFL, basketball, etc. in the U.S. that has more than Inter Miami does. Inter Miami is the most followed team in the country because of one man. So to your point of him being famous, he's pretty famous.
That's amazing.
He's pretty famous. Inter Miami. Knowing that 2 months ago, ain't nothing going on.
No, and I don't remember if we talked about this. I feel like such a freaking idiot because we knew the Messi rumors for 6 months, 9 months, and I thought about buying season tickets, but I didn't want to risk a few $100. But the upside was there.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. But yeah, bro, that's insane. Right? 14 million.
Dude, right? I can't imagine you walking around because me in the suburbs up here, I see Messi jerseys everywhere.
Bro, there's Messi jerseys, Messi hats all over the place. I almost bought a Messi hat, but I think the pink hat's kind of dope. That's all. But I mean, not a Messi hat. I was going to buy an Inter Miami hat. I'm not a jersey wearing kind of dude, but I'd have bought a hat for sure. You know what I'm saying? But and also that jersey, the highest selling jersey too. So yeah, the dude's a little famous, just a smidge, right? And now is when they get into actual MLS play. So we'll see what happens there. But dude's gonna make some. He's gonna make some people pretty happy. All right, let's move on to some film and TV dynamics. Did you watch Oppenheimer?
I did not.
Did you watch Blue Beetle?
I did not.
Dominic again bringing value to this conversation.
I watched They Clone Tyrone,
which is also old. But all right, tell me about tell me your thoughts on They Cloned Tyrone. Well, tell people the synopsis of They Cloned Tyrone.
blaxploitation film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to spoiler alert. I don't want to ruin it.
I said the synopsis, dog.
Well, listen, it's highlighting some of the issues that ail urban Black communities and the
and
the influence directly or indirectly from the system, the government, white people, and the issues that Black people in the community themselves have calls upon themselves. It highlights all these things. I thought it was I don't think it was great.
I didn't
On
like
your
it at
ab
all.
scale, I would say 3
2.
abs. No,
Okay,
I
all
give
right, so we're
3.
close enough. I didn't like it at all.
You're gonna face backlash though,
because I
just
didn't
like you
like
did
it.
knocking Dave Chappelle.
Because I didn't like his comedy either. Yeah. So apparently, if I don't like everything that a black person puts out, that makes me bad. No, some things are just bad, and this film I did not like. Also, it just wasn't entertaining. It was. I thought the characters were kind of cool, but I didn't find the show. I didn't find entertaining.
I like the premise very much.
Yeah, the execution was poor.
And the subjects, sort of stereotypes about food eating or post-colonial influence on black people, hairstyles, trying to fit in with white people, right? What especially black women, what they do with their hair because what they've been taught is better. The religious aspect of church, quite frankly, our thoughts already on that, but it touches all the stuff that the white influence has on black community, and also drugs, and the influence of the government and everything and keeping the communities where they are, in a shit state, in essence. Didn't really provide any solutions, but it highlighted some of the stuff, and yeah, it was okay.
Okay, then as a Puerto Rican fellow, or Jamaica, I don't know. Well, I guess you're claiming Puerto Rico today. So Blue Beetle came out this past weekend, directed by Puerto Rican, featuring Mexican star, Mexican writer, Latino cast, shot in Puerto Rico. The whole end sequence is shot in Puerto Rico. Have you even been to Puerto Rico?
The last 2 times for both of my grandparents' funerals.
Okay, that's a little macabre. You could have just said yes and left it at that. Do you need to get into the reasons? Don't know why we have to be all.
Those are my last memories. Yeah.
Damn, son. All right, way to just take the wind out of my sail, bro. Good Lord, man.
This guy goes to Puerto Rico a month ago and all of a sudden Boricua for life. And
man, what kind of pronunciation is that? There you go. So the film was it made $43.5 million this weekend. I'm sorry, $43.4 million globally, and it made $25.4 million in the U.S.
I don't know stuff, but that sounds like a flop.
No. It's this movie was going to go straight to HBO, and it was going to go straight to streaming. It was not going to be made for the theaters.
But like a Barbie, what did Barbie make opening weekend?
All right, man, Barbie's a little different because Barbie's a global phenomenon. Blue Beetle, do you even know who Blue Beetle is? Forget that it's Latino. Have you ever heard of the character? Period.
Never.
Correct. Neither had I. It knocked Barbie off of his number 1 spot, if you want to look at it that way. Now, Barbie's also been there for like a month and change, so it's about time. But it made $40-some-odd million, which is actually a really, really, really good number for this film, right? This film was supposed to go straight to streaming. They changed that. The film was entertaining, and it was. I thought it'd get some love, but as a Latin person, you didn't show it any love. Didn't even know it. Like, do you plan on seeing this film?
Yeah.
In the theaters? No. All right. Yeah. Noted.
Yeah.
You're. No, hold on, man. Don't make me pressure you, dog. You can just say no. It's your.
No, I do.
You do plan on seeing the theaters?
Yeah. If it's good, is it good?
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's a must-see, amazing film, but it was an enjoyable film.
All right. I'll see it. Support my.
But people. You can't support your people because I said it was good. If I said it wasn't good, you would not have supported your people.
No.
So you're not supporting your people. That's not how support works, guy. You're just horrible in this situation, right? And then the other one too is Suits. You watched Suits back in the day?
I've never seen an episode.
You, who watch all the crap TV, never saw Suits?
Never saw 1 minute of Suits.
Even with Meghan Markle?
No, I didn't even know she was on it.
Get the F out of here, bro.
So I see it's back on, or not back. It's on Netflix. It keeps popping up as number one show.
It's like the number 1 show in like forever and ever and ever. So now
all the people get residuals. Do they get a ton more because it streams well, or does it not matter if it streams well or not?
It does not matter if it streams well or not. Once they made it streaming, they got their check and whatever else. All right. This is part of the whole strike going on right now. But the fact that it made it to there, that's all they're getting. There's no additional money coming their way. That's what makes it interesting.
It's interesting though. Why does something like that blow up? What, a decade later?
So I don't understand, right? Netflix does this with a lot of old shows, right? And I think that there's a lot of people who just, I think there's also one. I don't know how to describe it. My assumption is people are watching things on TV and not finding a lot of stimulus in what they're watching, right? And so they're just searching for anything to watch, and this thing pops up. So I don't know how the Netflix algorithm works to put this at the top of the food chain, but people have been watching the show and loving it in its simplicity because it was a USA show, which means very, very simple, not a lot of heavy lifting mentally. And it was entertaining for the first little bit, and then it just kind of dragged on for me, and I stopped watching because it went like 9 seasons or whatever. But do not be surprised if there's a revival because of all of this, right? Just like Justified. Some people went back and started watching Justified, and there's a new season right now. Which are you watching or no?
Yeah, it's great on FX.
Are you caught up?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that show is pretty solid. Same thing. They've been talking that show. They're talking about bringing it back for a while, and they finally brought it back because again, there's nothing really new on TV these days, and now we're here, right? But the Suits game is crushing it. So now part of the argument with what's going on with all the strikes, etc., is exacerbated by the Suits dynamic because people are expecting the actors from Suits to make a fair amount of money because Suits is trending so well, except that's not the way the model works. And so they get a flat fee regardless because otherwise everybody be making money all the time kind of thing. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense the way the model currently works is you get paid regardless. So now that you're getting more views, it doesn't really help your cause right now. And so there'll be people up in arms about that. Birmingham Brawl. Are we still talking about this?
Hell yeah.
This is where you keep talking, Dominic.
So for those who somehow didn't find out, well, you brought it up or didn't see it. Birmingham Brawl was the you must have seen some clips where there was a riverboat trying to dock, and a smaller boat refused to move. They were docked. The people on the smaller boat got out and started harassing the one of the employees from the riverboat, a captain. And eventually one of the individuals from the smaller boat shoved the captain, who then threw his hat 20 feet up in the air, and people joke like a bat signal, asking for help. And after that, there's no way I can articulate how amazing this was. You had a guy jump off of the riverboat to go and help and swim. He got nicknames such as swam to the dock, started fighting, picked up somebody, suplexed them. So this guy who jumped in the water, he got nicknames such as Black Woman, Aquaman, Scuba Gooding Jr., LL Pool J, and Michael B. Phelps.
Some good ass names. I can lie.
So it was interesting. So it was a few people from the boat attacking this captain, right? And he's trying to save himself. And then a rush of other people came to this guy's defense after like 2 minutes, and it was on. Chair swinging, flinging people in the.
Did a woman get hit with a chair?
Yeah, that was my problem with the guy. I said I was cool with that guy being arrested because he hit the woman, but
with the chair,
I should say I don't know if I should say she deserved it, but she definitely deserves something because she was kicking the guy. I found video last week. They have other angles. She was kicking the captain and spit on him.
Ooh,
not just kick, spit, right? So it was a huge brawl. So just to paint the picture, the people who came to save the captain, it was white people from the little boat, black people defending the captain. And there's all kind of jokes like this is finding the spirits of the ancestors having revenge, because evidently that dock is where there were slave trading. It was a big slave port right there. So there's a lot of jokes and memes going on about how the ancestors came back to seek their revenge. But yeah, it was these guys were attacking the captain, acting all tough, and then all of a sudden you get like 10 other guys come and rush them, and they looked so scared and ran up back on the boat. It was just amazing. If you haven't seen it, just Google Birmingham Brawl.
I think I saw like maybe 10 seconds.
Oh,
I think I heard the retelling like you just did in so many different ways. from so many different people that I feel like I've seen it. So I was just kind of good. I'm good. I don't need to see it. But the retelling's been very, 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 very fun. And the nicknames, I enjoy a good nickname always.
This guy threw his hat, no joke. Like people say, like a bat signal.
I saw that one.
Straight up in the air. Like you see the motion, and I've never seen somebody do that with the hat. Like,
well, he threw it and then he stepped back, like ready, and I was like,
he didn't just throw it like a little bit, like, oh, he threw it so high, like literally, I was like, come on, bring it.
It's so ridiculous. It was kind of crazy too when I saw that. Yeah, it was weird because I've heard all the retellings, but I haven't seen it itself, and all the retellings were fun enough in of itself. We don't have to worry about it. What else you got? You got Ohio?
That's you.
Ohio? I put that in there?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was for you.
Good show prep guy.
Yeah. And now I'm moving on then. I don't really care about Ohio. Just don't really care. Not gonna lie to you, it's political based, and I just don't give a crap talking about it. It's just, we're creeping into an election season, and it's gonna be all politics all the time, and I just don't care. And these little wins, in essence, Republicans wanted to put something in place, and I'm talking about it now, so I didn't want to. Republicans wanted to put an amendment in place so they could change the voting rights when it comes through for voting time, and it got shot down, which they weren't expecting. They hoped that nobody would show up to the vote. People voted against it, 60%, so it got shot down. And there'll be more political fodder later on. So that's all.
I got Dominic is mad.
Good shit. What you got?
So a gentleman by the name of LaRon Liggins in Michigan.
Oh my God, hold up, man. LaRon Liggins?
Come
on now.
LaRon Leroy Liggins.
Oh, is it Leroy?
I just think that.
Oh, man. I was telling this man's middle name ain't Leroy, dog. All right, go
ahead. He got his 10-year sentence for drug charges, 10-year sentence vacated, and a new trial was ordered because he was arrested originally in 2018, but it didn't go to trial for like 3 years because of certain delays. And the judge got very frustrated at one of the hearings and said, come on, why are we wasting time? We should be doing this. He looks like a criminal.
The judge said this?
The judge said this. And the judge who wound up eventually presiding over the case where he was found guilty said so he rightfully got a new trial because was this racially prejudiced? Probably. But even if not, let's say it's not racially. The fact you have in your mind that someone looks like a criminal, right? You can't be presiding over the case where they're trying to defend and prove their innocence of whether or not they are a criminal. And the crazy thing is, think now how often, extrapolate this to the thousands upon thousands of courts around the country. Think how often this happens, racial or not. And more so racially, but just in general, where a judge is already in their mind thinking something. What shot do we have in a legal system, our fraud legal system, where the judge is saying, oh, he looks like a criminal, we should be going to trial? This is America, bro.
That's pretty amazing.
Mind you, he probably is guilty, but that's beside the point.
Whoa, you can't say that now.
But that has nothing, guilty or not.
You don't know what Leroy Liggins is doing, bro.
No, his name is LaRon, dog.
My bad. Yeah, okay. And then, all right, wow. That was a little heavy. So we'll go over the Michael Oher situation.
Yeah, so Michael Oher was a former NFL football player. He's the story of a movie that I guess Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for.
She did? I guess. I mean, it's not a guess. She did.
I mean, I guess. I didn't know.
You didn't get the internet?
Anyway, I guess she won an internet. I mean, an Oscar. For portraying his adopted mother. So I've seen the movie. I learned after the movie that he claims, Michael Oher, the star of the movie, or the subject of the movie, claims the movie is so wrong. It made him look like he was kind of dumb, slow, had never played football before, didn't know anything, was just like a big goof out there who was molded into being a football prospect and go to college and wind up in the NFL. Turns out he had played football. He knew everything about football. And this family, he thought adopted him. Turns out he's claiming unless they didn't actually legally adopt him. He just signed his rights away and income rights for his story. So he later found out after the movie, he claims that the family and their two real kids got flat fees plus a percentage of gross from the film, which he was not entitled to. He says it's millions of dollars and he wants it. You know,
he's going after them for. He asked them. Apparently, he went out to them earlier the year requesting $15 million, or he was going to come out with a bunch of stuff. So now it's gotten to a heated battle for he said, she said dynamics. They claim they made, I want to say, $250 for the film, and they split it 5 ways, if I'm not mistaken, including him. But also, with that being said, the mom, has also gone on to do quite a bit of stuff afterwards. Actually, they both have, from like speaking circuits, et cetera, that have generated revenue. So it's not like this didn't lead to other revenue streams. It just doesn't necessarily mean it was the revenue stream, right?
But it's pretty easy to figure out, though. Just some auditing and then figure out from the movie production.
Yeah, but no. But then what about the stuff she did after, right? So if you're doing all the talking
Yeah, the problem is I don't think he's going to be able to recoup that, right?
But I mean, that's kind of where a lot of their wealth came from after the fact, right? Not directly from the film. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of part of the dynamic here, right? Plus, they're saying that he went out there with a bunch of stuff. In essence, he came out. They're saying this, so they're saying a lot of this is blackmail related. But again, we'll see what happens as it plays out.
It's what related?
Blackmail.
Oh, blackmail.
What did you hear me say?
Black man. A lot of this is black men.
I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into this.
But it's. He claims he didn't really get into this because he was focused on his NFL career and didn't really realize until afterwards.
I got nothing for that.
He claims they just wanted him to go to the school that they're donors to, which is SMU, and that they exploited him.
SMU, they went to Ole Miss.
Yeah, that's Ole Miss.
Bro, have you done zero prep?
I forgot this school is red and white. I knew
this guy's at SMU.
Red,
man.
White, and blue. It's the colors, dog.
Wow. Sorry, y'all. Listen, this guy, SMU, this man said, this guy. All right, we got a couple more things because it's got to jump out to this. Random thing right here. I'm going to read this story, right? A pig kidney implanted into a human is still working after a month. In a big step towards using animals to help ease the shortage of donated organs, the surgical team at NYU that transplanted a genetically modified pig kidney into a brain-dead man with his family's consent said it continues to function normally 32 days later. That's the longest such an organ has worked in a person, and it raises hopes that pig organs can one day help human patients who need donations. As of March, when the U.S. proposed revamping its organ donation system, more than 100,000 people are waiting for organs. Would you take a pig organ if needed in this particular scenario?
Yes, if I had zero shot at something else and it was critical, yes.
Are you on the donor list? Are you somebody who would donate organs?
Yeah, like on the driver's license. Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
No, so am I. That's what I'm asking. Yeah. So am I.
I feel like, why do I have business? Why would I care?
No, I'm with you. Some people go, oh, but they want to bury you a certain way, whatever. And it's like, yeah, just take some of this stuff out first anyway, and then you can do the rest of it after that. But yeah, pig kidney. Things are changing.
So would you not?
No, hell, come on, man. You kidding me? Whatever works. I don't. If it works, yeah, I'm good with it. If it's modified and but again, you're also the dude who won't eat like certain things for the same reason and all kind of ridiculousness anyway. So that's why.
Whoa! What do you mean ridiculous?
What? Your diet changes all the while when something new and trendy comes out. That's why.
Never.
Bruh.
You could say bye to her. Bye.
Bye. He's like, you can say bye. Hey, Dougie. Yeah. What you got? Nothing.
Your work vacation time? Do you ever truly on vacation, or do you disconnect from work? completely?
Maybe for a day, but no,
So,
rarely.
so if you went away for say like a 5-day vacation,
That's okay.
do you ever? You don't.
No, that's
You
never
guys,
happened. That's
unfortunately,
never
most
happened in the better. I shouldn't say never. It hasn't happened in the better part of like over I don't know, like 15 years,
you
maybe
realize
more.
most people in America don't,
Mhm.
including me. It's not good.
You don't even do work when you're at work. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
You don't step away.
fake news.
Wait, how okay you?
That's not good. It's come up with a cheesy term that's come out called workcation. That's what we're all doing.
But are you really working?
Yes, I'm not saying to do like 10 hours a day, but yes.
Huh. So, but that's the thing. Okay, but that's one of the things. Like I mean, in general across the board, right? We have less vacation days. We don't have paid health care. We don't have paid time off. We don't have a lot of things in the U.S. There's no law, by the way, that you have to have any vacation days, right? There's no law that says you need to have a certain amount of vacation days in the U.S., right? In other countries, you have to, right? Paid vacation days. Paid vacation days are a give by the companies, become a norm, but it's not a requirement. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy to me.
Yeah. So apparently, up until like I want to say we were in lockstep with the rest of the world. I want to say it was till the 70s, and then it changed, and the rest of the world was like, "Hold up, we need to get some paid time off, and so on and so forth." And the U.S. went a different direction with it, and so we never got any further than that. I was reading about that this weekend, and I was like, that just seems crazy, but also very, very America, right? Because it's one of those dynamics where you have. Some people will say that's also why we continue to grow faster than other countries, right? That's part of the argument here too.
Also,
right?
why other people could say also why we're so unhealthy compared to a lot of countries. Also, why we have mental issues and breakdowns of core family.
I mean, I don't know how we compare the core family mental
dynamic.
breakdown thing over other countries. That part I don't know how to compare. But to your point, it's definitely something that's out there. Here's another interesting one. India going to the moon, son. India. So apparently there's a new race to the moon. And the new race to the moon.
I mean, new race. The race done run 50 years ago.
No. That was a different part of the moon. This is now the south side of the moon, son. This guy, right? The dark side of the moon. This is where people are trying to set up shop now, which is way harder than it was going to where we landed the first time. So now Russia just crashed a landing module. Literally, I think it was like yesterday or the day before. On their approach. India is a couple days away, so they're going to try and get their landing situation going on right now. But India's got like what 1/30 of the budget that the U.S. has, which would be a real smack in the face, if you will. So yesterday Russia its Luna 25 spacecraft crashed while attempting to land on the moon. As Russia's Dutch Space Agency put it, the vehicle ceased to exist. This is how they phrased the crash landing. As it relates to that, India has arrived in the neighborhood and will try to touch down on Wednesday. If successful, it'll be the first for India and a credibility boost for the small but growing space program. India has set aside only 1.5 billion for its space department, and NASA's approximately 25 billion per the Wall Street Journal. This is all reported by Morning Brew that I got this from, but India trying to go there. The whole idea is they're trying to set up colonies. They're trying to set up a way because there's water apparently at the side. They're trying to set up colonies where they can go there and then use the resources there to go the next step to Mars and whatever else. But it has to set up a colony where you can do everything from there without having to ship everything from Earth to space and do whatever else. That's why they're going to this part of the moon versus where Neil Armstrong and them went back in the day. That's why it's a new race, because it's way harder, because it's full of.
You said resources. What resources on the south side?
Apparently, there's some resources. Apparently, the moon rock has got some resources. I wouldn't even tell you, man. What you want me to tell you, Doug? I don't know the dynamics. I've never been, but there's apparently some natural resources they can tap into there, and which would prevent them. Here you go. Here you go. Because there's ice. There you go. Ice, which melts and turns into water. It can be pivotal for two reasons. It's necessary for supporting human settlements in space, something NASA is trying to do something that NASA is trying to do this decade. And water could also be used to make rocket fuel, establishing the moon as a literal launching pad to other missions, including Mars, etc. So there you go. Resources, son. Water. Exactly right. So the moon. That's the next step.
I'm not drinking no moon water. Tell you that.
I mean, this is to make fuel, but yeah. I mean, you wouldn't even leave. I mean, you're not even going scuba diving, let alone go to the moon.
No, I'm
This is
not.
not for
No.
you. This is not for you. You can barely
In
snorkel. This ain't for
fact,
you,
moon
dog.
is probably less scary than scuba diving.
Man, you ain't going nowhere. That's never been done by like.
Don't they say
generations
something
before.
like how much percent of the ocean hasn't been discovered or explored? Like 90% or something.
Yeah, it's pretty
wild
significant.
stat.
It's pretty significant. Yeah, but you won't even go snorkeling in the stuff that you definitely know about. So that's my point there. And lastly, with an interesting turn of events. So Facebook Facebook in Canada, and actually, so I'll take a step back. Australia came up with a law some years back where they wanted Facebook and Google, Meta and Google and other such companies to pay various news outlets for repurposing their news, their news on their websites, right? They're in essence saying that you're getting more viewers by posting Wall Street Journal, whatever. So therefore, you should pay these news outlets. And Google and Wall Street and Meta companies acquiesced in Australia. Canada came up with a similar rule and said, "Hey, I want you to do all this stuff." And so they're like, "F it, I'm not paying them anything, and I don't need them on my." And so they're like, "We're not even doing news anymore." So Meta's like, "No more news on there," and Google's like, "I'll take the news off. I don't need it." Right now, the logic on their part is, you need me, meaning the news outlets need Meta and Google more than Google needs them.
Right.
But here's how it kind of backfired. They've been crazy wildfires in Canada, as we all know this year. Many of these people who are stuck in the middle of nowhere, wherever they go out there, their news gathering outlet is social. So if social ain't carrying news from the government, whomever else, and yo, FYI, fire's coming for you, get out. They got no way of knowing this, right? And Meta and Google are like, look, man, y'all said, we can't do this. So what do you want from me now? So it threw a little wrinkle in the game where nobody thought about this aspect of things. They thought about paying people on the back end, didn't think about this, and it's causing some problems right now within Canada.
But you don't blame Google or Facebook, do you? Or
no, I do not. And I don't think they should pay for it either, because it's aggregation situations. If I click on the link, like right now, if you click on a link if it's a Wall Street Journal link or whatever else, there's a paywall, and that's what it should be. Right. So if I find the article enticing enough or the heading enticing enough, then I can click on the link and go check it out, and I'll pay for it or whatever based on that company's site. I don't know why Google or Meta should pay for that. You're welcome, right? Because they developed the network that people want to tap into. So I agree with Google and Meta in this one, personally.
Yeah, I feel no doubt. Did you say first time?
No, I said personally, not first time.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe for me, might be first time, but I fully agree.
No, there's that. I don't care about this. And the last thing, actually, I said last thing, but here's the truly last thing. Cruise will slash the number of robo-taxis in San Francisco. So apparently Cruise is, I think it's GM's version of, like, they were testing out autonomous vehicles and had a couple incidents. Some fire. There's a fire truck incident where it didn't read where the fire truck was going correctly. There was cell tower outage, so a bunch of cars just got stopped in the middle of the road because they couldn't have cell coverage keep going, like just random stuff like that. There was like a big game going on or something like that, and like when you go to big events like that, cell coverage can go to crap real quick, things like that. So
what'd you say? They're doing what?
So San Francisco said, all right, you have to pause it. Only 50% of the total allotment can be allowed on the road versus what was out there before.
You ever seen a vehicle without someone in it?
Not without.
Not like sitting like a Tesla guy just hands out like
without. No. I have not seen it with any. No. I've never seen it without. No. But San Francisco's been, the testing ground for all these things for a long time, right? Including Uber, including whatever else. So San Franciscans are a little less enthusiastic about continuing to do this and being everybody's guinea pig. But that's also where the infrastructure is to test out these things, right? So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Now, would I get in an autonomous cab? Yeah, I dabble. You probably wouldn't. That's actually a good point. Would you get in with nobody, with no driver in there?
Safer than human.
Okay, all right. That's actually was not where I expecting you to go, but okay, you're right. That's why I would do it for the same reason.
Yeah, and of course, it's not completely safe. That's why you have these instances, right? But it's still safer than getting in a car is the most dangerous thing we do.
Yeah,
except you would go on the Ocean Gate sub, like you said, which is asinine.
Well, not no. I didn't say that.
Would you go to the moon? Would you go get your moon water on the moon?
No, that's what I said. I said I would go to the moon. I said you have to pay me to go on the sub. Is what I said. Two different things. I wouldn't volunteer.
Oh, so you go to the moon for free?
Oh yeah. If you said, Amit, I got to take a video on the moon, let's go.
You're insane.
Why would you not?
Because I don't know if you're coming back, bro.
Yeah, but what a way to go.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know, that probably have a little goodbye barbecue and call it a day. If I come back, have another barbecue. No big deal. We had a good one on the way out.
Oh my God.
On that note, I'm just got to tuck out. It's been real. We'll catch up again. I don't know.
We're now on Amazon. If you listen to things on Amazon Music, we're available on Amazon, of course, as well as Apple and Spotify. YouTube. Are the videos up of the shows?
Mm-hmm.
Up to date?
Everything's there.
Look at this guy doing his job.
Everything's there. So we'll catch up with you guys soon. Have a good one. Talk soon. Bye.
Kaboom.